I said it before, I'll say it again. American politics is bullshit. It's bullshit. Which brings me to the story here at Fox 9 KMSP. It's about this Trump phone call that took place in 2020 during the Minneapolis riots. Because Kamala Harris went to X and posted, Trump's been out there blasting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And at the time, Tim Walz was governor of Minnesota. So Kamala Harris went to X, and she posted a portion of this phone call, claiming that Trump praised Governor Walz back in 2020 during these riots. But that's not really the case, is it, Kamala? Are you lying? As I said, American politics is BS. So it says here, Trump said he fully agreed with Walz during the 2020 unrest and phone call recording. There seems to be something off about this guy's last name, Tim Walz. Looks like it should be Waltz. Like there's a letter missing there. Maybe I'm looking at this in musical terms because I write music in my spare time. Thus, my mission here to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. And you may have noticed if you're new, no fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. It's just you, me, my smartphone, and this mission to preserve great art, this crusade I call it, to preserve great art, music, history, and culture as we talk about the issues of the day. So, this is what happened during this phone conversation. But here's what Kamala said on X. Trump tells Tim Walz in 2020 he is very happy with his handling of George Floyd protest. I fully agree with the way he handled it. Tim Walz is an excellent guy. So you can go and listen to the audio. I'm not going to share that with you because it's poor audio. But this is what Trump said. I fully agree with the way he handled it in the last couple of days. I asked him to do that and the whole world was laughing. You got a big National Guard out there that was ready to come in and fight like hell. Oh, he said fight like hell. Fight like hell to protect the city of Minneapolis. Was Trump engaging in insurrection when he said fight like hell here? They were in and committed and dominated, and it happened immediately. So Governor Walz, Walz, he responds by saying, yeah, our city is grieving and in pain, expressing an outrage that is real. They witnessed 8 minutes of a man dying in front of them, Walz said, and at that point in time, I did something unprecedented. I mobilized the entire Minnesota National Guard. Now, later in this recording, this is what Walz says. A lot of what you saw yesterday was engaging civic leaders and the peaceful protest. I would just close with, I think the guidance is you got to get a handle on it with that force, and that is absolutely correct. And then the transition into the next phase is trying to get those spaces for the peaceful protest. Peaceful protest, my ass. Now, were there people there that had legitimate concerns, were angry what happened with George Floyd? Yes, I was mad with what happened with George Floyd. Shouldn't have happened. But that doesn't give you the right to go out there and burn down your city. And then turn around and say it's peaceful protest. So this is what President Trump said in the end here. But Tim, it shows the incredible difference between your great state yesterday and the day before compared to the first few days. So what was happening in the first few days? Well, Governor Walz didn't know what to do because they've never seen this type of protest in Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me in the comment section below. It's not like what we had in 92 in LA or in 68 in Chicago. Now, something I've noticed about these protests, and maybe you've picked up on this, they all seem to happen. These protests, these riots, all seem to happen in election year cycles. Have you noticed that? 1968 Chicago, 1992 LA, 2020 Minneapolis. They were all election years. So, Trump intervenes here in the beginning and says, you got to get a handle on this. But here's my take on this. Trump should have made that phone call to begin with. I'll tell you why. Because the federal government should not be getting involved here, or shouldn't have been getting involved. The state of Minnesota should have been handling this. You know what? Let the chips fall where they may. If the governor of Minnesota is not going to go in and intervene with the city of Minnesota, well, to hell with them. I mean, with the city of Minneapolis, to hell with them. Let the place fall apart, because that would be the best thing to happen. It's kind of like what happened in 1860, 1861 with the Civil War. It would have been far better for Lincoln to let the South go. I'm not trying to make this an issue, a video or issue here about slavery, but I'm just saying it would have been far better for Lincoln to let the South go and let the North and South go their separate ways, because eventually slavery at one point would die out with what was happening with changes in technology at the time. Remember, we had the Industrial Revolution that happened several decades earlier. So Trump probably shouldn't have made this phone call to begin with. Shouldn't have got involved here. He should have just said, let the state handle it. Let the chips fall where they may. Because guess what? The people who are against this stuff will rise up and be against it, and they will stop it. If the government's not going to do what it needs to do, then the people need to step in and do what needs to be done to keep peace and order in their city. I'm not calling for vigilantism here, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just saying that Trump probably shouldn't have made this phone call, shouldn't have intervened, and just let the state handle it. And if Governor Walz was too incompetent to do what he was supposed to do, well, oh well. That's the way the ball bounces, buddy. That's how the cookie crumbles. So I thought I'd share this with you. The whole point here is that Kamala Harris isn't being honest. She wants to go to X, post this phone call, or part of this phone call, when the truth is that Governor Walz didn't know what to do in the beginning. And this is why these ultra-liberal enclaves don't work. I'm an independent voter, but even I can see the writing on the wall here. These ultra-left experiments in these large cities, they just don't work. They don't work. And when you see something like a riot breakout, damn it, you immediately take care of it. Don't sit on your ass doing nothing for 2 days and say, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Well, get off your ass and do something. This guy was in the military, right? Now, there's been questions about that too. That's for another place, another time. So, want to talk about this. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Go to X, Culture Confederacy, at Culture Confed 1 on X. You can find me at Substack. So this is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great Friday. Take care.